Hare Krishna. And so, how many queens did Krishna have in Dwaraka? 16,008. So we came across only 3, no? Huh? Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati. Then Krishna went to Hastinapur, and that's the time he actually met Arjun for the first time. And from that moment onward, from the time that they met, they became very, very attracted to each other. Arjun became attracted to Krishna, and Krishna became attracted to Arjun. And they became very, very intimate friends. And one day, Krishna and Arjun just went out traveling, and they came to the bank of Jamuna. And when they were there, they saw one young girl, extremely beautiful, is performing austerities on the bank of Jamuna. So Krishna sent Arjun to find out who she was and what she was doing. So Arjun approached her and asked her who she was, and she mentioned that she is the daughter of sun god Suryadev. Her name was Kalindi. And so Arjun asked, "You're the daughter of Suryadev, then why are you here? What are you doing here?" And she mentioned that this place is very auspicious. On the bank of Jamuna, what is that place? That's a nice forest. Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, when one performs austerity desiring something, that desire becomes fulfilled. So Arjun asked, "So what did you desire that you're performing such severe austerity?" She said, "I desire something which is very, very rare to accomplish. And that's why I came to this very special place and performing austerity." What is that desire? I want to get the Supreme Personality of Godhead as my husband. And Arjun said, "Oh, I can understand your desire." So he went and reported to Krishna. Then Krishna said, "Okay, her desire has been fulfilled. I have come here to claim her." So that is how Krishna got married to his 4th wife, Kalindi. He took Kalindi to Dwaraka, and with great pomp and grandeur, the wedding ceremony took place. And then Krishna got to know about one princess who was extremely beautiful and endowed with all kinds of wonderful qualities. So naturally, those days when a beautiful princess who got to the marriageable age, many kings and princes became attracted to her. And her father actually knew that she is a very unusual girl. He knew that his daughter is unusual because who she was actually. She was Lakshmi Devi herself. So who can be offered to Lakshmi Devi too? Only to Krishna, only to Narayan. So her father, recognizing that fact that she is unusual personality, maybe the goddess of fortune herself, her father made an unusual arrangement to select her husband. Her father had 7 extremely ferocious and extremely powerful bulls, 7 of them. And these bulls were so powerful that one bull alone could deal with 100 warriors. And so her father made a condition that anyone who can subdue the 7 bulls could get his daughter, whose name was Nagnajiti. She had another name, Satya. So her father made this arrangement, and many kings and many princes came, powerful individuals, but many of them gave their lives. That is the life of a Kshatriya. The Kshatriyas, when they would want something, in order to get that, they would even give their lives. And the understanding is that when a Kshatriya dies fighting, he goes to heavenly planet. Therefore, the Kshatriyas in the Vedic time were not afraid of death, because they knew, as Krishna also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, if you win, then you'll enjoy this earth. And if you die in this battle, you'll enjoy the heavenly planet. So what's the loss? So that's the life of a Kshatriya. So many Kshatriyas wanting to marry a beautiful girl gave their lives to these bulls. Many broke their arms and legs, became hospitalized for a long, long time. They became crippled. So Krishna got to know about that. So Krishna came to this kingdom. The king was very, very happy to receive Krishna. And then Krishna expressed his desire that he wanted to marry his daughter. He said, yes, I'll be very happy to have you as my son-in-law. But actually there is a condition that I have stipulated, that anyone who wins to win the hands of my daughter must first subdue the 7 bulls. And he told him about those bulls. They are extremely powerful and extremely ferocious. Krishna says, don't worry, I don't mind facing those. The father said, look, many kings have died. He said, don't worry. I can deal, what to speak of 7, I can deal with 7 billion bulls. That's my version. So then Krishna went to the arena. The bulls were released. The bulls came charging towards Krishna. Then immediately Krishna expanded himself into 7 different Krishnas. And very easily he subdued all those bulls. 7 bulls. And then he put a rope through their nose. That's how you tame a bull. If you get the bull by the nose, then it cannot do anything. So he got the 7 bulls and brought them to the king. It has been described just as a child brings 7 baby goats tied up in strings. Krishna brought those 7 bulls to King Nagnajit. And Nagnajit was very happy to offer his daughter. And in this respect, Sridhar Swami actually made a comment that not only Krishna expanded himself into 7 forms to deal with these 7 bulls, but Krishna could also understand that Nagnajiti, the princess, had some concern in her mind that Krishna already has so many wives, and how will he deal with me? Like, will I be just one of those neglected ones? And that's why Krishna assured her by expanding himself in 7 forms that don't worry, I'll expand myself into many, many forms to deal with all my wives. Then Krishna heard about another beautiful girl, another beautiful prince from a very special kingdom called Avantipur. So the father of the girl was very happy to hear that Krishna wanted to marry his daughter. But her brothers were opposed to that idea. They were friends of Duryodhana, and they were allies with the demons. Their names were Binda and Anuvinda. So they were opposed to this, and they, like Rukmi, wanted to get her married to some other demoniac king. But Krishna came and stole that girl, took her away. All the kings gave a fight, tried to stopping him, but Krishna defeated all of them and took this girl to Dwaraka and made her his queen, one of his queens, and that was Mitravinda. Then another girl that Krishna got married, another prince, was Bhadra. In Srimad Bhagavatam, this Bhadra's episode has been mentioned very briefly, but in some Puran there is a detailed description of that. That Bhadra's father also wanted to have someone very special to marry his daughter. So he made an arrangement like the arrangement King Drupad made for Draupadi's marriage. There was this, a fish were kept high up, and there was a disc that was rotating. And the disc had one hole. And one had to hit the target, the fish, passing the arrow through the hole, which was moving in an eccentric way. Looking down on the reflection on a plate of water. Now, this one had, the fish was not even visible. Only in the reflection the fish was visible. But otherwise, up there the fish was not visible. Many kings came, many of them couldn't even string the bow. Those who could string the bow, they could not hit the target no matter how big, or how valiant, how expert they were in archery. But Krishna came and he hit the target. And that is how Krishna won the hands of Bhadra. How many we got? Did you keep count? Very good. And then the daughter of the king of Madras, South India, Mathura Raj. It's a pity that the name Madras has changed. It's actually the traditional name. They kept the name Chennai. Sounds so silly to begin with. So, the king of Mathura Desh had a daughter called Lakshmana. She was an extremely beautiful girl. And her father wanted that Krishna should be his son-in-law. And so he made the arrangement. He invited Krishna and got her married to him. But even then, although he was invited, but the other kings who were envious and eager to win Lakshmana, because as I mentioned that the kings are always attracted to beautiful princesses. So they came and they gave a fight. They tried to stop Krishna and take away the bride. But Krishna fought with them and defeated all of them. And brought Lakshmana to Dwaraka and got married there. So in this way, Krishna got married to 8 principal queens. Now here we need to remember that as Krishna expands, Krishna's consorts, Krishna's pleasure potency also expands. Like in Vrindavan, who is Krishna? Krishna in Vrindavan, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead resides in Vrindavan. And there he has his 8 principal gopis, headed by Srimati Radharani. And when Krishna expanded himself into Vasudev, then these 8 principal gopis came as the 8 principal queens. And they were, Krishna danced with 16,000 gopis. So all those 16,000 gopis also expanded and became the queens of Krishna in Vrindavan, Dwaraka. In Vrindavan, they are the gopis. In Dwaraka, they are mohishis. Mohishis means queens. The principal queens of Vrindavan are these 8 personalities. So, then one day, Indra came to Krishna and told him that one demon called Narakasura, he has become such a disturbance that he stole the earrings of Mother Aditi. Aditi is the mother of the demigods in heaven. Because the demigods are Aditi's sons, therefore they are known as Adityas. Adityas. So, and then he also stole the umbrella of Varuna. And he also stole the playground of the demigods on top of Mandar mountain. So, and Indra said that we can't deal with him. He is so powerful that we can't deal with him. So, please do something about that. Then Krishna called Garuda and took Satyabhama and went to Pragjyotishpur, which is Pragjyotishpur is today's Assam. And there his kingdom was actually protected or covered by a mystic net that nobody could penetrate. So it is called Murapasha. But Krishna, with his sword, he cut that mystic spell, entered into the city. And the city was protected by a demon called Mura demon. He had 5 heads, extremely powerful. So he attacked Krishna. So he attacked Krishna with his mace, and then he fought. He tried to strike Garuda, but when he struck Garuda with his mace, Garuda did not even feel anything. That is how powerful Garuda is. You know how powerful Garuda is? Just to give an example. When the demigods and demons, Devas and Danavas, decided to churn the milk ocean, then they decided to make the Mandar mountain as the churning rod. And they uprooted Mandar mountain and they were carrying it to the milk ocean. And after carrying it for some distance, it was so heavy. They were jointly, all the demigods and all the demons were carrying it. But they dropped it. And many demons and many demigods died being crushed by that. So when their endeavor was foiled in this way, then the Lord came riding on Garuda, and with his left hand he picked up the mountain, placed it on Garuda's back, and Garuda flew to the milk ocean. So that is how powerful Garuda is. Or in one hand we can say that is how powerful one becomes when one becomes empowered by the Lord. Not that Lord himself is powerful, but his assistants, his servants, his devotees also become extremely powerful by the mercy of the Lord. So he came with Garuda, although he struck Garuda, but nothing happened to Garuda. But the Lord playfully fought with him. That's what the Lord does with the demons. This is how the Lord experiences one mellow called Virarasa. Virarasa, the mellow of chivalry. You know why Jai and Vijay came as three sets of demons? Because in Vaikuntha the Lord could not experience Virarasa. Therefore, they were desiring that, in Vaikuntha here the Lord doesn't experience Virarasa. We wish that we could give him a chance to experience that mellow, the mellow of chivalry, which is experienced through fighting. But in Vaikuntha nobody fights with the Lord. So that was the principal cause of Jai and Vijay becoming demons. They desired, and then the four Kumaras came, cursed them, and then they were cursed that they will go to the earth planet, or they'll go to the material nature, and then there will become enemies to the Lord. So we can see that it is actually Lord's divine arrangement that the demons fight with him. And fighting with the demons, the Lord experiences the mellow of chivalry or Virarasa. So Mura demon also fought with Krishna for a long time. Then finally, Krishna cut his head off with his chakra. Then Narakasura became very, very angry that one of his chief associates been killed by an intruder. So he sent his army to fight with him. Krishna took care of them also. Then Narakasura himself came to fight. And they fought for a long, long time. The Lord fought with Narakasura for a long time. Narakasura was extremely powerful. And who was Narakasura actually? Narakasura was the son of Bhumi Devi, Bhu Devi, Mother Earth. When Varahadev appeared and rescued Mother Earth, do you remember that? Mother Earth, Dharani or Bhu Devi fell in the nether region, and Varahadev rescued Mother Earth. And as a result of the Lord's association, Mother Earth gave birth to this Narakasura. He was a demon. Mother Earth knew that he would become inimical towards the Lord. Therefore, Mother Earth asked the Lord for one benediction, that he would not kill Narakasura, her son, without her permission, without her approval. So that she thought that this is how she would actually protect her son. Because her son, she knew, would become a miscreant, and the Lord would probably kill him. But she wanted to protect him and made this condition. And that is why Krishna took Satyabhama with him. Who is Satyabhama? Sri Devi, Bhu Devi, right? Krishna's two consorts. Sri Devi is Lakshmi, Rukmini. Bhudevi is Satyabhama. So when the fight was going on, and then Narakasura released one weapon which was invincible. Of course, it's Lord's pastimes, nothing can actually subdue the Lord. But Satyabhama, seeing that, cried out, kill him, don't spare any more time. And then Krishna chopped his head off. So, remember, the condition was that without her permission, you shouldn't kill. And that's why when Satyabhama said, kill him, Krishna got the permission and killed him. Now, this Narakasura kept 16,000 princesses in his prison. And so Krishna then released all those 16,000 princesses. And they were, when they saw Krishna, they were struck with appreciation for his beauty, for his valor. And they not only thanked him for rescuing them, but they came to Krishna with an appeal that, my Lord, we had been imprisoned by this demon. He stole us and he kept us in captivity. So no one will marry us. That sound to thik ache? So, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Is it all right? Okay, now it's better. So they appealed that, please just consider that no one will marry us, because everyone will consider that we are contaminated. And now you are the supreme shelter, and you have saved us. Now please accept us. Otherwise, no one will accept us unless you do. So Krishna then accepted this 16,000 queens. 16,000 princesses were captivated by Narakasura and married them. That is how Krishna got 16,000 queens. Narad Muni became curious when he got to know that Krishna got married to 16,000 queens. 8 is understandable. 16,000. So he wanted to see how Krishna is dealing with these 16,000 queens. So Narad Muni came to Dwaraka. And he saw that for 16,000 queens, Krishna has created 16,000 palaces. All the palaces are equally opulent. And then, first he went to Rukmini's palace. And it was in the morning when the rooster started to, when the cocks crew. And Rukmini Devi was quite disturbed. Oh, see, the cock started to crew. And now Krishna will wake up and I'll be deprived of his association. All this while Krishna was with me, but now he'll wake up and we'll be separated. Krishna got up. Krishna, just sitting on his bed, he was meditating. He was meditating on whom? He was meditating on himself. And in this way, Krishna is actually teaching us how we should actually start our day. Krishna was meditating and he offered his prayers to Sun God, and this is how Krishna is actually establishing the proper standard. And then Krishna went, took his bath, and then he did his puja of Narayan. And then Narad Muni went to some other palace. There he saw that Krishna is playing with his sons. In some other palaces, Krishna just took his bath and he's dressing himself. In some other palace, Krishna was taking his breakfast. And in this way, Narad Muni saw Krishna expanding into that many forms and dealing with all the queens. So this is how Krishna performs his wonderful pastimes. So, so then Krishna gave birth to one son through Rukmini. His name is Pradyumna. Pradyumna was actually Kamdev. In English, who is identified as Cupid. But it's not exactly the same. The concept may be similar. Cupid is shown in the Western culture as a little boy, little child. He also has bow and arrow. But that is, those arrows are the arrows that cause lusty desires in living entities. So, Kamdev actually was burnt to ashes by Lord Shiva's glance. It so happened that one demon, a demon called Dwaraka, attacked the demigods in heaven. And he was so powerful that the demigods couldn't deal with him. So they went to Lord Brahma and asked, look, you have given benediction to this demon and he became so powerful that we can't deal with him anymore. So please tell me what you can tell us, what we can do, what we should do. Then Brahma said that if a son is born with the potency of Lord Shiva, if a son is born with the potency of Lord Shiva, that means if a son is born out of Lord Shiva, then he can actually defeat Dwaraka. Now, Lord Shiva was completely lost in his meditation. Who is Lord Shiva meditating upon? Shankarshan, Balaram. So, Lord Shiva was completely absorbed in his meditation. So, in order to get Lord Shiva married, there had to be, he had to come out of his meditation, come out of his trance. Now, how to break his trance and arouse lusty desires? The only person who could do that is Kamdev, Cupid. So the demigods approached Kamdev And Kamdev said, not me. I'll break Lord Shiva's meditation and he'll be so angry and that'll be the end of me. The demigods assured him, don't worry, we will give you the support. We'll be there to protect you. So being assured by them and persuaded, Kamdev finally agreed to go there, where the Lord Shiva was meditating in Mount Kailash. And what did Kamdev do? He had 5 arrows made of flowers from a bow of flowers. So he hit Lord Shiva with those bows. The first one, Lord Shiva just shook his body a little. Second one, he became even more aware. In this way, when the 5th bow hit him, 5th arrow hit him, he opened his eyes. But his eyes was full of anger. Who dared to break my meditation in this way? And his glance fell on Kamdev, lust personified. And he got burned to ashes immediately. So this is how Kamdev has another name, Ananga. Ananga means one who doesn't have anga or body. One who is without a body. So this is how Ananga lost his body. And this Kamdev was born as the son of Rukmini. Now, there was a demon called Sambarasura. And Sambarasura got to know from Narad Muni that Krishna's son, Pradyumna, will kill him. He actually asked Narad Muni when he came. Narad Muni was traveling. He came across Narad Muni and he asked Narad Muni, can you please tell me whether somebody will be able to kill me? He said, yeah, for a long time you will be invincible. But when Krishna comes and he'll have a son whose name will be Pradyumna, and he will be the one who will kill you. So Sambarasura was waiting and he saw Krishna came to this planet. Krishna got married. Krishna gave birth to a son. What's his name? Pradyumna. So he decided, this is the one who is going to kill me. Okay. So what the demons try to do? They try to prevent their death by hook or by crook. Most of the time by crook. So when Pradyumna was born, when Pradyumna was just 6 days old, Bhagavatam here says that before he was 10 days old. But our previous Acharya, Sridhar Swami, commented in his commentary that at that time, Pradyumna was 6 days old. Bhagavatam says when he was not even 10 days old. But he makes it more precise in his description that when he was only 6 days old, he stole the baby. Now see the amazing thing, like the Lord comes and performs his pastimes, but often these pastimes are apparently so painful. apparently so painful. Now, this is how we can see that this is how the Lord actually teaches us. That no matter how painful the situation is, don't worry about it. Because eventually everything will become auspicious. For the time being, something may be difficult, but do not become overwhelmed with those difficulties. So, in this way, so we can see this pastimes. His firstborn got stolen by a demon. How will you feel, mothers, if your child got stolen by somebody? I mean, it would be extremely devastating. So we can see the condition of Rukmini at that time. She is the queen of Krishna, but she is suffering in this way. Therefore, Krishna is teaching us that do not be worried about the suffering condition. Look, what I face. And actually Krishna himself went through all kinds of inconceivable situations. Like if you look at it, a normal child is born under so much care and so much care and attention. Mother goes to a nursing home, or those days the midwives used to come, and all kinds of wonderful arrangements used to make for the childbirth. But when the Lord came, his mother gave birth to him in a prison when nobody was attending her. So this is how the Lord is actually teaching us. Don't worry about the material condition, material difficulties. Because the material nature is a place of suffering. So be prepared to suffer when you are here. And we'll come into another situation later on. A question Parikshit Maharaj asked, very pertinent question actually. He asked Sukadeva Goswami, Krishna is the husband of Lakshmi Devi. Krishna is the source of all the wealth. Krishna is the supreme proprietor and supreme enjoyer. Whereas Lord Shiva does not even have a place to stay. He doesn't even have clothes to wear. Not that he doesn't have a place to stay or he doesn't have clothes to wear, because he's so detached that he's totally unconcerned about all those. But how come Krishna's devotees are poor and Shiva's devotees are opulent? Isn't it quite a pertinent question? Now don't get worried. Don't get into anxiety. Oh my God, will I become poor? And better to become a devotee of Lord Shiva. Anyway, I will deal with that question afterwards. It will come. So see, Rukmini, the principal queen of Krishna, the first child is born and that child is stolen away by a demon. And Sambarasu took that child and threw the baby in the ocean. And Sambarasu thought, okay, now he'll die. And he went away. But a big fish swallowed that baby. And although the fish swallowed the baby, the baby didn't die because he was Krishna's son. A fisherman caught that fish. And it was a prize catch. You can well imagine the fish that can swallow a baby like that, how big the fish must have been. So the fisherman decided that this fish is a right gift to Sambarasura, the king. So he, with great jubilation, awarded this fish, and Sambarasura was happy to see, wow, big fish, a big feast. And then he gave it to his head cook to cook that fish. So head cook took that fish to his kitchen, and as he cut open the belly of the fish, he found a baby. And the baby was still alive. So there was an assistant in the kitchen who is to cook sabji and rice for Sambarasura. Her name was Mayavati. So the head cook gave this baby to Mayavati. Said, you please rear this child. I've got some nice gift for you. So Mayavati actually is Kandarpa or Kamdev's wife, Rati. After Kamdev lost his body due to Lord Shiva's angry glance, so Mayavati actually came and took this service as Sambarasura's kitchen maid. So Mayavati started to take care of the baby, and just from the very sight, from the very first glad sight, she had a feeling that this is my husband. Although a baby, she had a feeling. It happens. For example, once I was with one of my godbrothers, and we were talking about Srila Prabhupada, and that godbrother told me, even if I meet Prabhupada in another form, I will be able to recognize him. Because the feeling that I used to get whenever I used to go close to Srila Prabhupada, I know that feeling will indicate that this person is Srila Prabhupada. And it was so true, because I also felt the same thing when he said that when I also went to Srila Prabhupada or be around Srila Prabhupada, there was a certain feeling in the heart, an unusual feeling which I never felt before towards anyone. It's an unique feeling, an unusual feeling. And when he told me that, it just occurred to me, how true it is. So even though Prabhupada may come in another form, I'll be able to recognize Srila Prabhupada, because that feeling will indicate that it is him. And in a way, anyway, I'm admitting it frankly as I'm talking to you all. Like even nowadays when I dream about Srila Prabhupada, the same feeling comes back, even in dreams. Anyway, so from that I can understand what this means. When it is described that Rati, just by seeing the child, recognized that this is her husband. And she started to rear the child. And in a very short time, the child assumed its youth. And when the child became youth, then Rati started to deal with him as a lover. So Kandarpa, Pradyumna, asked her that you are my mother. Now, why are you approaching me and dealing with me in this way? So then she admitted, she said, actually, you are the son of Krishna and Rukmini. And this is what happened. This Sambarasura, knowing that you are his arch enemy, you are going to kill him, he threw you in the ocean. And a fish swallowed you. And this fish was caught by a fisherman, presented to Sambarasura, and when it was brought to the kitchen by the head cook and cut open its belly, you came out from there. But actually, I am your wife. I am Rati. You are Kamdev, who were burnt to ashes by Lord Shiva's glance. Now you have appeared as the son of Krishna, Pradyumna. Now kill this Sambarasura, because it's destined that you will kill him. So Mayavati then taught Pradyumna a mystic mantra called Mahamaya, and told him that Sambarasura knows all mystic magics. Therefore, it is difficult to fight with him, because sometimes he appears, sometimes he disappears, sometimes. So, with his mystic spell, he completely bewilders the opponent and kills him. But this mantra, this Mahamaya mantra, will destroy his magic spell. And then he'll have to fight with you face to face. And then you kill him with this. She gave the weapon called Pashankusha. With this weapon you cut his head off. So Pradyumna then went and challenged Sambarasura. Sambarasura was quite surprised. Why are you attacking me? Why are you challenging me? Then he said that I am the one whom you threw in the ocean. So when you dealt with me, when I was an innocent newborn baby, then what kind of a behavior do you expect from me? And Sambarasura was telling that you have been brought up with my food, eating my food. So instead of being grateful to me, you are just becoming inimical towards me. So then Pradyumna told him that you called me, you asked me to be grateful when you threw me in the water, ocean, when I was just a newborn baby, stole you from my parents' house. So here I am, I'm going to take care of you. So true to Mayavati's words, Sambarasura started to display all kinds of mystic power, magic spells. He was fighting, and then when he cornered Sambarasura, he just disappeared. And then he appeared all of a sudden from his back. And then he saw there are many, many Sambarasuras. And he didn't know which one is which one. Which one is the real one. So he was, actually Pradyumna was completely bewildered at that time. I mean, seeing all his mystic display. So then Mayavati cried out, "My lord, I told you to use this Mahamaya mantra." Then Pradyumna came back to his senses. And he started to chant the Mahamaya mantra, and Sambarasura's magic spell disappeared. And he saw Sambarasura and they fought. And with that Pashankusha weapon, he chopped his head off. Then Sambarasura, killing Sambarasura, Pradyumna and Mayavati, Rati, came back to Dwaraka. When Pradyumna arrived, the ladies thought that Krishna came because he looked just like Krishna. But when Rukmini saw, he immediately felt her breasts became filled with milk and they started to drip with, actually this is what happens. You know what milk actually is? Milk is the mother's affection. This affection of the mother for the child transforms her blood into milk. So natural affection that the mother feels for the baby turns into milk. So after killing Sambarasura, Pradyumna in this way arrived, and Rukmini found her lost son. But still she didn't know who it was. So then Krishna arrived there, and then Krishna told everyone the whole story, what happened. And Rukmini was so happy to get her lost son back. For all these years, she was crying and crying for her firstborn. And now, by Krishna's mercy, he came back. So, in a similar note, I can also relate another story. Should I tell another story or keep it and take some questions? Another story. Okay. There was a demon called Vanasura. Vanasura was a devotee of Lord Shiva. And he had 1,000 hands. And once when Lord Shiva was dancing, Banasura with his 1,000 hands were playing 500 mridangas in Lord Shiva's dance. So Lord Shiva became so pleased with him that he blessed him. He wanted to give him some benediction. So Banasura said that if you want to give me any benediction, then please protect my city, that nobody can ever come there to attack me. And in this way, I want to be protected by you. So Lord Shiva said, fine, I will protect you, my devotee. And Banasura's capital was Shonitpur. In a way, this name is quite befitting. You know the word, meaning of the word Shonit? Shonit means blood. So it's the city of blood. A perfect place for a demon to reside. So, Vanasura had an extremely beautiful daughter. Her name was Usha. And Usha started to associate with one handsome young prince who would come to her dream time and time again. So one day, while dreaming, she just woke up. And even in that wakeful state, she continued to converse with him. And then she found that she was she came to her senses and she saw that she was surrounded by her maidservants and all. So she felt extremely embarrassed. But her friend, Chitralekha, the daughter of the chief minister of the king, asked in private that, look, Usha, it seems that you are meeting somebody in your dream. Who is that person? So then Usha confided, yes, I do meet somebody in my dream. And that person is extremely beautiful. And he is not only so handsome, but he is so caring, he is so loving. And he treats me with such love and care that I don't know how, although he is coming to my dream, but I do not know how I'm going to live without him. So then Chitralekha said, let me see if I can find him. So Chitralekha also was a great painter and she had mystic power. So she started to paint different important personalities in all three worlds and showing, Usha, is this person? Usha, is this the person? One after another, she would paint different luminaries of this universe, and but Usha would say, no, not this one, not this one, not this one. But then Chitralekha painted Krishna's grandson, Aniruddha. And when he showed Aniruddha's picture to Usha, Usha said, yes, that's him. So Chitralekha said, look, I am your friend, so I'll help you to meet this person. Saying that, Chitralekha that night, she flew all the way to Dwaraka. And when Aniruddha was sleeping, in his sleep, she brought him to Shonitpur, to the palace of Vana, where Usha was. So in this way, Usha and Aniruddha met in the inner chamber where only the women can enter. In the Vedic culture, the royal palaces had this area where the ladies lived. No man could enter. That reminds me, not only in the Vedic culture, even in Islamic culture also they had this. In Istanbul, there is a palace called Topkapi, which is a very famous palace. Huge. And in Topkapi, there is one area which is meant only for women. And when I visited that place, I remembered that in the Vedic culture also it's the same. Like the area where no man was allowed. So that is called Andar Mahal, the inner chamber, inner sanctum. And so he was the only man there and associating in private in Usha's inner chamber. Even the maidservants of Usha could not detect that Aniruddha was there. Only Chitralekha knew that Aniruddha was there with Usha. And in course of time, the maidservants started to notice the symptom of conjugal relationship in the body of Usha. So they became worried that how she is here, no man is allowed here, then how come she's developing these symptoms? So they reported to the Queen Mother. So Queen Mother also came, and she also saw that their suspicion was appropriate. So she reported to the king. So Banasura immediately came out. And when he came to Usha's chamber, Usha's area of residence, he found that Usha is playing dice with a boy, with a man. So he was furious and he told his guards, bodyguards, kill him. So in that inner part of the ladies' chamber, there was no weapon. So Aniruddha could just get hold of one iron rod, and just picking up that iron rod, he wiped out all the bodyguards of Banasura. And then Banasura became furious. So he fought with Aniruddha, and he also couldn't subdue Aniruddha. Aniruddha was so powerful. Naturally, Krishna's grandson, that means Krishna's own expansion. So then he used Nagpash, the snake bond, and with that he captured Aniruddha and put him in prison. So the residents of Dwaraka, the residents of the palace, became very worried that Aniruddha is missing. So they got very worried. What happened? What happened? Previously they already had experienced Pradyumna's disappearance, and now Aniruddha also disappeared. What happened? So then Narad Muni came and reported that this Vanasura has captured Aniruddha and put him in prison. So hearing that, Krishna became furious. He said, how dare he put my grandson into prison? So he immediately wanted to go there and attack. So Balaram also joined him with the army. And as I said, Sanitpura was being protected by Lord Shiva and his associates. So Lord Shiva came with his entourage, Kartikeya, Ganesha, Bhutas and Pretas and Pishachas. And a terrible fight ensued. But Lord Shiva was defeated. Then Banasura came out himself to fight. And when this battle was going on, Balaram was dealing with Lord Shiva, Krishna was dealing with Banasura, and then at one point Krishna released his Sudarshan Chakra. And Sudarshan Chakra kept on chopping Banasura's hands. How many hands he had? 1,000 hands. And when Krishna chopped off 996 arms of Banasura, Lord Shiva fell at Krishna's feet and begged his disciples, his devotees, life. And he said, please spare just these 4 hands. Let him have these 4 hands and let him survive. And Krishna agreed. And then Lord Shiva was very, very lamenting. He said that, my Lord, like often I forget who you are. And forgetting your identity, I even dare to fight with you, thinking that I am the greatest. So please forgive me. So this is how Aniruddha and Usha, Aniruddha was rescued. Then Vanasura happily offered his daughter to Aniruddha, and in this way Aniruddha got married to Usha. And these are the wonderful activities of Krishna and his family members in Dwaraka. Hare Krishna. So I'll take a few questions and then we can have a little kirtan before we end. Oh, okay. I will tell tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, you're going tomorrow. Then you have to stay. You have to go tomorrow? Now this mic also is not working. You have to go tomorrow, yeah? Okay, I'll tell you the story. This is coming at the later part of Bhagavatam. That's why I was just trying to go in order, sequence. As I mentioned, Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami this question, that why Vishnu or Krishna's devotees are apparently poverty-stricken. Well, Krishna is the source of all wealth. Whereas Lord Shiva, he is apparently has nothing, whereas his devotees are so opulent. So in response to that, Sukadeva Goswami mentioned that yes, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He possesses everything. Lakshmi Devi is his eternal consort, who is the source of all wealth. But Krishna's devotees, because they are not interested in material things, they don't want anything material. The devotees of Krishna do not want to enjoy in the material nature. They want only Krishna and service to Krishna. And they derive their joy by serving Krishna. Whereas Lord Shiva is the source of false ego. And Lord Shiva is the controller of different elements of this material nature. Therefore, those who want material things, they approach Lord Shiva. Another thing is, why Lord Shiva is devoid of any opulence. Because Lord Shiva is a devotee of Krishna. That's why being a devotee of Krishna, he doesn't want anything material. But because he is the controller of false ego, which is the source of the elements, therefore, those who want to enjoy those material things, they tend to worship Lord Shiva, because their goal is that. And because Lord Shiva is a devotee of Krishna, Bancha kalpa tarubhascha, kripa sindhu bhayevacha, devotees are Bancha kalpa taru. Whenever somebody approaches a devotee with some desire, he fulfills that desire, like a desire tree. So therefore, Lord Shiva is Ashutosh. Lord Shiva is very quickly pleased because he is a devotee of the Lord. So the demons often take advantage of it because they have their agenda to fulfill. And the best way to fulfill the agenda is getting the boon from Lord Shiva, benediction from Lord Shiva, because he's so quickly pleased. So now you understand why Lord Shiva's devotees are apparently opulent and Krishna's devotees are not. Because Krishna's devotees' goal is not here in this material nature. Their goal is Krishna's lotus feet. And in this context, Sukadeva Goswami narrated one incident. He said there was a demon called Brikasura. Brikasura was a devotee of Lord Shiva, so-called devotee. And he started to cut his own flesh and offering it to the sacrificial fire to please Lord Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Cutting his own flesh and offering. Lord Shiva didn't come. Probably he was disgusted. What this guy is doing. But finally, when he was about to chop off his head and offer it to the sacrificial fire, Lord Shiva couldn't help it. He just came and said, stop, don't cut your head. Tell me what you want. So, Brikasura said that give me the boon. Lord Shiva said, ask me whatever you want, tell me quickly. So he said, give me the boon that whosoever I would place my hand on his head would crack in 1,000 pieces and he would die. Lord Shiva says, granted. So Brikasura said, yeah, true. Lord Shiva said, yes, why are you doubting my boon? Yes, let me see whether it works. So he wanted to put his hand on Lord Shiva's head to check it out. And now Lord Shiva was in trouble, so he ran from there. And Brikasura also ran after him. So Lord Shiva went to all different places, but Brikasura was chasing him wherever he went. Seeing his condition, Narayan became concerned. Look, Shiva just grants all these boons that causes him so much distress. So he appeared there, he appeared there as a little boy. And he asked Brikasura, hey Brikasura, why are you running like this? What happened? You look so tired and in such anxiety. Tell me what happened. So Brikasura said, see, Shiva gave me this boon, and when I wanted to taste it out on him, he ran away. So I'm just trying to chase him and get him. So that little boy said, Shiva gave you a boon, are you sure? You don't know that since he had been cursed by Daksha, that he lost his potency to give any boon? That leads to another story. So, he said, no, I don't know. He said, look, Shiva doesn't have any power to give any boon. And of course, the Lord was using his Yogamaya, illusory potency. And he told him that, see yourself, put your hand on your head and see. And Brikasura, and his head cracked into 1,000 pieces and he was dead. So, the so-called devotees of Lord Shiva get different types of boons from him, but eventually that boon becomes the cause of their own destruction. Like you can see, Ravana, Kamsa, they all got the boon from Lord Shiva. But ultimately what happened? For the time being, they displayed power and opulence, but eventually they were destroyed by the Lord. So what is a better proposal? To get some momentary pleasure in this material nature and then be destroyed, or become free from material attachment by developing your attachment to Krishna and attain eternal life. You know the answer. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So there is a question from Krishnadas. Where is Krishnadas? Is this from you? Oh, another Krishnadas anyway. Oh, Samsundar Krishnadas. Where is Samsundar? Okay. Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj, you said Satyabhama was expansion of Radharani, but now you said expansion of Bhudevi. How do we understand an individual? Is it individual to be an expansion of two individuals? No, Radharani is the origin of Bhudevi. Krishna has three different potencies: Shri, Bhu and Nila. Shri is Lakshmi and Bhudevi is... So Bhudevi, Radharani is expanding, from Radharani expands Bhudevi, and from Chandravali expands the Shri aspects. In South India you will see there are two potencies of Krishna in two sides. One on left hand side, one on right hand side. So, okay, in simple words, Radharani is the expansion of Satyabhama. And, Satyabhama is an expansion of Radharani. Bhudevi is an expansion of Satyabhama. Alright? So, it's not any contradiction. These personalities are origin of expansion, and ultimately Radharani is the origin of everything, all Krishna's expansion, potencies. She is Radharani, and then she expands in Chandravali. It's her expansion only. And all the gopis in Vrindavan are coming from Srimati Radharani. Chitta Hari Krishna Das. Okay. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much. As you have heard Krishna consciousness philosophy many times, I have gathered knowledge, but that knowledge is not becoming transformed into our actions, or life is not 100% molded according to instructions of Krishna or Guru. So what is the reason for this, and how can one transform knowledge into realization? Well, see, ultimately you have to act. The first aspect of action is in practice, and that practice will bring perfection. So you are actually saying that how am I going to ride a bicycle? What did you have to do? First you have to practice. But then while practicing, one day you found that you could balance on the bicycle, right? It came and you started to ride. So similarly, practice will lead to perfection. And as you said, the knowledge will be transformed then into realization. Whose question is this one? Okay. Like Indra, is Jama also a position? Yes. Jama's position is he is the Chief Justice, right? The Supreme Judge, and he judges everyone. It's a position. As your Divine Grace mentioned in morning session, that Lord Krishna visited Jamapuri and gave audience to Jamraj, and as per scriptures, we get information that during that time, Jamraj took birth as Vidura due to the curse of sage. We have to understand that when that kind of situation happens, he expands, an expansion comes, or he hands over the responsibility to some qualified person, right? Just like when you go to a vacation, you appoint someone as your departments to take care, right? Manduka Muni or Jama, the son of Aditi and Kashyapa, was acting as Jama, as you said. So, is Arjama a Mahajan among 12 authorities, or everyone who holds that position is considered Mahajan? Again, it's not the position that makes one into a devotee. It is one's attitude towards Krishna that makes one a devotee. This question is from Vinit Das.
I was confused with the side of the paper.
Oh, okay. Oh, so this is from the same question. Please accept my humble obeisance. Okay. When the Mandara mountain was dropped, how come some demigods also died? Don't they never die and just fall down? Well, the principal demigods don't die, but death means leaving the body. So at that time, we have to understand that some demigods, they left their body. The demigod body that they had, they lost it. how should the, what's that? How should the study of prayer verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam differ from that of the study of other verses? Well, Bhagavatam is giving the highest information, but it is giving those information in a concise way. Bhagavatam actually is not going to details. We find some details in other scriptures in collaboration with Srimad Bhagavatam. Like Purans are one source like that. Not that all Puranas, but in different Purans at different sections, you get more elaborate descriptions. And there are some Samhitas also, like Garga Samhita. Garga Samhita is giving the detailed descriptions of, or elaboration of Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the 10th canto. Yeah?
If I find a prayer verse, for example, there is a section, in the whole 6th canto, there is Hamsa Goya. In the chapter, there are prayers. So if I'm reading that verse in which Dakshina Maharaj is offering prayers, so what should I do? How should I get this to get in that bandhana aspect of the devotional service? Should I do?
The prayers, just like yesterday we pointed out, the prayer, or was it this morning, the prayers of Akrura, how the prayers of Akrura is giving us the understanding of who Krishna is and how to become his devotee. So with that spirit we have to, and different prayers, mainly the prayers about the Supreme Personality of Godhead simply enables us to understand him better or appreciate him better. Because they, with their elevated consciousness, are glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And those glorifications are factual, they are not flattery. They are factual glorification. So meditating on those glorification through those prayers, we actually benefit by understanding and appreciating the Supreme Lord. Okay, thank you very much.